Boys, welcome back to Top Rope Commentary. This is actually serving as this is doing a double thing today.
Yeah.
This is serving as the podcast episode for the week because we have a limited recording session time this week.
And predictions for
And this is the Top Rope Commentary Championship defense this week. As Full Gear is coming up tomorrow.
Yes,
I will have this up for Friday, so it will be up tonight.
And so far, we've got 11 matches.
It should be up tonight, I should say.
Just
There's no, unless...
And we're doing this before Rampage, so...
We are doing this before Rampage, so it's entirely possible they do what they did to us last time. They add another match. Hopefully they don't, but just in case. But we're going to run through the Full Gear predictions. I believe I mentioned this last time, but the punishment is...
Right.
Yes, a huge spoonful of Vegemite. Not just a little Vegemite. Like, that shit's getting put on there. Yeah. Not as bad as the one chip challenge.
Not as bad, I will say. Like that one chip challenge.
We're Americans.
After I went home, that chip made a surprise cash in at Money in the Bank, and I'm still standing.
But that's okay. But yeah, I say we hop right into the predictions. Like I said, this title is got a pretty good lineage of we do really good. Like I have won all of the predictions, and you have won all of the gaming challenges.
The fact that what was the last pay-per-view? Just Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
literally came down to if Cross would have won that match.
Crown Jewel.
Yeah, Crown Jewel. If Cross would have won that match, I would have won because we split on Strowman and Omos, and that would have been I would have won the split.
Yeah, but Drew won, so that's okay. But the first match for Full Gear that we have a nice little list. We're going to work our way from the bottom of that list to the top.
Starting out some tag team action. We got Darby Allin and the man they call Sting versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
It feels weird to me seeing Jeff Jarrett in a match in 2022, especially for AEW.
Double J, ain't he great?
Double J. Jesus.
JAREET.
Jeff Jarrett will be. So who you got for this? Who you think's pulling off the win here? You think it's Jarrett and Lethal, or you think it's Darby and Sting?
I think it's Darby and Sting. Because anytime Sting shows up, Sting wins. If Sting is showing up, and especially I feel like in the lead up to like his match, whatever he's doing on this great mood card that's gonna be coming in January, isn't it?
It is. I believe it's January 1st.
It's coming up soon. I feel like Darby's gonna sell like $1 million. Sting and Jarrett are gonna do a whole bunch of W that callbacks, and Jay Lethal is great as Jay Lethal is. So
yeah, I agree.
If they do lose, Sting's not taking the pin.
No, Darby will take the pin if they lose. But I also have Darby and Sting. I think it doesn't make much sense to have Jeff Jarrett go over.
But it's weird also to say though, Jeff Jarrett, but also he has like a producer role backstage.
Yeah, so
he falls in that QT Marshall role where QT Marshall seemed like you might win this, but then you also realize like he's a coach.
QT Marshall.
He's like a coach and he does way more other things than just like continuously on TV.
Hold the mic a little closer for you. I agree though. I think that I think Jeff Jarrett will not pull this off. I think Jay Lethal is kind of there to help put over talent. Darby should get this win.
Jay Lethal's there really to make it all flow.
I think Darby and Sting need to split. I feel like we've had them a little too long.
I feel like they won't until Sting's like, yeah, I'm gonna retire and I want my last match to be.
They've not wrestled for the tag titles. It feels weird that they're wrestling as a team so much. Darby's kind of been in like a holding pattern so far for a while now. I think them splitting would be enough to help sort of elevate him towards the maybe the main event, Darby versus MJF.
I don't get Darby. Like I don't
get his gimmick, but I think in ring
he's solid. Can't take nothing away from him in ring, but just like as like a packaged like pro wrestler, like I don't see it.
Yeah,
like him as TNT champion was like the first thing that could like maybe get me like on like his page to do it.
I thought he had a really good run as TNT champion.
He had a really good run of matches.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's like the Hangman syndrome. Hangman, great matches as champion. Personally,
well, Hangman actually like people.
Hangman's my second. Hangman's my second favorite AEW champion.
Oh, now he's going to bump down to your second?
Moxley. It's always been Moxley, though, to be fair. Hangman had the best story. Hangman's my favorite AEW wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler going right now, and that's saying something because AJ Styles is my favorite all time. I think Hangman might be my favorite going right now, just because I relate to that character a lot. But match, like, he's my second favorite purely based on matches, and I enjoyed the feuds too. I didn't hate the feuds. Everyone shit on him. I thought they were great. But Moxley as champion, just he can hold a goddamn company. Yeah. The fact that WWE never really pulled the trigger on him, Vince McMahon, you failed. He had
the title for a while.
He had the title for like 3 months, and then he lost it to Styles.
I gotta look at that because
his first feud on SmackDown as WWE champion was against AJ Styles, and he lost it. Yeah. They didn't really pull the trigger on him being the top guy, which is crazy. And like fucking Stone Cold, he did the Stone Cold interview where Stone Cold called him lazy.
Oh yeah, I feel like that was just like a. Yeah, that was just like.
It gets even worse because so that whole Stone Cold thing. Apparently they agreed ahead of time. Do not talk. Moxley will not talk about his childhood because he had a rough childhood. Yeah, it's not something he wants to talk about, and that's something that Stone Cold kept pushing. And like, I love Stone Cold interviews. I think he's a good interviewer. He fucking botched that. He failed that interview. But we move on to the next match. We have Britt Baker, DMD, versus the returning to the ring for the first time in 5 years? Soraya. She's got to win, right?
Oh yeah, she's definitely winning. This is her comeback match. She's definitely winning. So if not, nuclear heat for Britt Baker, because I definitely have Soraya.
100%. I think Soraya wins.
Yeah, and Dean's title reign was 84 days.
That's not very long. Yeah, so I was right. About 3 months.
Yeah, it was 84 days.
Yeah, that's a shame, man. He should have held it longer. Or at least multiple times, but he didn't.
It's a shame, but the way he got it,
and it was pretty awesome. And he won the Shield triple threat as well. So a big theme of this pay-per-view seems to be old, like AEW originals or
old guard versus new guard.
Yeah. So this one is obviously Soraya just came in. Britt Baker, the first woman ever signed to AEW.
And plus, after she said we might get like one match a month from her, I can see them trying to stretch this, and maybe we get a tag team match next month.
I can see that
before the end. Like
I can see that, but we both got Soraya winning. Yeah.
Now
I wonder what the ones that are going to split us are on this pay per view.
I feel like I split up.
So next we have in a steel cage match.
In
Jungle Boy Jack Perry
Luchasaurus
versus Luchasaurus. Who you got and why?
Jungle Boy has to finally pick up like a win. Like Jungle Boy has lost to Christian.
Yeah.
Christian on the pay-per-view before, lost to Luchasaurus again due to interference, and like this steel cage is supposed to keep like all the interference out. So I feel like this is going to be. And plus, since it's a steel cage, if they do the escape method,
they don't though. AEW doesn't do the escape the cage.
Oh, so they only do pinfalls?
Pin or submission.
He's definitely winning.
I think Jungle Boy pulls off the win here. I think even Tony, and I think even Luchasaurus realizes Jungle Boy has the higher ceiling here. I think this is when you start really pushing him as a threat. I think
this whole feud was for Jungle Boy. If Christian didn't get injured the way he did, this feud wouldn't have gone on as long as like Jungle Boy.
100%.
He would have probably moved on to be roaming around the TNT champion.
I agree. I think he wins this. We get a blow off with Christian soon because I think Christian's starting to be. I think he's about to be cleared.
Maybe I think because I think this will lead to the blow off with Christian because he'll get his win back from Lucha.
Yep, I think I like that. Next, we got the AEW TNT Championship match. Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Samoa Joe. Who you got and why?
Surprisingly, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, okay. Let me quickly mark that. I have a different person. Why do you think Hobbs is winning it?
Because I think he's the odd man out. Like he's the one that kind of started with the beef between like Wardlow and Samoa Joe. So now, like, I mean, he kind of was going after Wardlow, and now Samoa Joe's kind of like injected like him. Like basically, after Wardlow said that he was going to come after every title, like regardless, like company was just kind of like, oh, well, got to take care of you right here, right now. And I think that's what's really going to like lead to it. Like Samoa Joe is going to have Wardlow in like a coquina clutch and like laying on his back, basically Hobbs is gonna come off like the top with some giant like splash, crush both of them like double stack pin or like a pin. It's going to be something where Joe and Wardlow are about to pin each other, and Hobbs just comes in and steals it, just team mentality. Because having Hobbs hold that TNT
that's a very good way to look at it.
And then Wardlow can go ahead and feud with Joe over the ROH title. Like Joe will still have his title.
Shit, I didn't think about it. So I put Samoa Joe.
You think they're gonna double champ Joe?
They should. They should, and then Hobbs should take the belt off Joe.
But would he take both belts?
Yes, he should.
You just talking about unified.
ROH they have too many belts. ROH has WWE is different in that like they have a world title. They should have a world title for each brand because the brand should be distinct things. AEW and ROH right now have too many belts.
I feel like AEW has to. ROH. I mean, the ROH trio title is never defended.
So ROH has the pure belt. They have the world belt.
Yeah,
they got the TV belt. They've got the 6-man belt. They got the tag belt. They got the women's belt.
Well, you can eliminate the tag belt. Trios.
I was about to say it.
It's never defended anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know who the 6-man champions are in ROH.
The pure, that's still Daniel Garcia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like he hasn't.
That is what I would make the
who's the
secondary title.
It's Willow,
Mercedes
right?
Martinez.
Yeah, it's Mercedes, and I think she's gonna be on a taping of Dark.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Is ROH has too many belts and not enough. Like they don't have TV time yet. What I would do, the reason I would put the AEW TNT title on Joe while he is the champion for the fucking TV title, you can make him like have him come out and be like, I'm defending both belts. That gets ROH TV time while also having AEW championship, which helps with the ratings because let's be clear, casual viewers don't give a shit about ROH. They're there for AEW. Yeah, so whenever you have all these ROH belts on AEW, they don't care. There's a reason those ratings go down whenever you have the ROH title in the main event.
That's because they have the ROH title in the main event like once every like month and a half.
They had it for a while where it was the main event. Like ROH championships were the main event a lot.
Well, also too, you're doing those championship matches with no prior like build or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're just kind of saying like, oh, there's this title and it's gonna like there's no marriage. There's no like nobody really like does that. I think they should start pushing those championships by themselves more before just having like Joe.
I'm gonna hold this like I'm Nick Aldis.
With the like briefcase-esque. Like,
yeah. So I actually agree. I think that's a big part of the issue with ROH. I think if ROH gets itself a TV deal or a streaming deal,
about it, I think he'll announce one.
He says after Full Gear we're getting some news about it. So maybe HBO Max. That'd be interesting.
Who's on HBO Max? We watch it a lot.
I love HBO Max. It's pretty great. I'd watch a lot of ROH if it was on there.
So you got Joe, I got Hobbs.
Yes. We move on next to the TBS Championship match. 1, 2, 3, Jade.
But also, big ups to Nyla Rose for being
one of the most
entertaining things on AEW TV.
Have you seen her Twitter?
Oh, Ari followed.
Yeah.
Great Twitter follow if you haven't followed her.
So we both have Jade. I think it's pretty obvious that
I think
she's not losing. I think until Statlander comes back. That's my theory.
Possibly, or until like I think she's going face right now. I'm still holding out hope for
Athena, who was turning heel.
Exactly. I'm still holding out.
You know what? You know who I'd be okay with taking it? Jamie Hayter.
That's gonna lead into
that's a match down the line, but I think Jamie Hayter would be really good. So we move on now to the AEW Trios Tag Team Championship match, which they announced on Dynamite this week. Death Triangle versus the Elite. It's been very obvious it's going to be the Elite for a while now with these return promos, and they've obviously been targeting Death Triangle. Who you got in this match?
But then also Death Triangle has been showing signs of imploding anyway.
I
feel like what it's going to come down to is Pac's going to try to interfere with that hammer again, and Phoenix is going to and Phoenix is going to get hit with like a BT trigger or something like that, and Pac's going to have an opportunity to get in there.
He's just not going to do it. And then we get Pac versus Phoenix, and the world explodes because gravity was ignored too much.
Oh, we're gonna get Pac versus Penta.
So, you got the Elite?
Yeah,
I got the Elite as well.
Yeah, I got the Elite. That one's kind of. I think this is another one that. Well, I don't know which.
I'm going with the Elite. The next one. So I go with the Elite, but I also think House of Black shows up and attacks the Elite afterwards.
That would be a great feud setup. I would say you have House of Black show up on Dynamite.
Potentially. This is just throwing this out there. What if their way of teasing the House of Black feud is like everything goes dark, spotlight at the ramp, Julia's standing there.
Julia Hart.
Hey, Julia Blackheart, first of all. Put some respect on my girl's name. I love Julia Hart. She's actually gotten so much better in the ring, and just like personality wise, like she's doing really good work. I like her on Dark. She's got ring gear that doesn't look dumb. Actually, I like her new ring gear.
Yeah, sometimes like it just takes a little finding like the groove. Like Dom Mysterio as a heel, he's definitely been finding like his groove.
I agree.
A lot more confident.
He needs better gear. I think if he got rid of the shirt, if he wrestled without the shirt, it would fit better. I don't think
the shirt didn't look like Roman's did, like with like the arms.
Yeah.
I think
it looks like a padded vest.
Yeah, if it was just like more of like a flowing. Like,
I don't know if Dom has the body for.
If anything, like he with Finn Balor and Damian, like a few workout sections with them, I'm pretty sure you'd probably be feeling a little bit better about your.
100%. So next we move on to the ROH World Championship match. You got the Ocho, Chris Jericho. You got the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. You have the world's most hated wrestler, Sammy Guevara. And you got the Swiss Superman, Claudio Castagnoli. Who you got in this?
I actually got the Ocho.
You got Jericho. Interesting.
I have the Ocho because I think it's going to be a moment where like Sammy is going to be so what's going to happen is like DB and Claudio are going to be going at it for a minute. Jericho's going to hold Sammy like to the outside, like just let them fight. They're idiots. They'll fight each other. That's what their whole thing is. Brian's going to hit Claudio with like a running knee. Sammy Guevara is going to come in thinking that he has like a pin right there, right for the taking. Jericho's going to hit him. That's the first time we're going to see it. And like, Jericho's going to hit him with the Judas effect and then pin, like, he's going to pin Guevara.
So I like this.
And I think it's going to lead to Daniel Bryan trying to take Sammy Guevara.
Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. He did it to himself.
It's all the
same.
He
knew what he was doing.
It's the same.
He knew what he was doing.
Actually, in kayfabe, they are the same person because of the NXT, the game show. When he got eliminated, he goes, yeah, maybe Daniel Bryan needs to go away. Maybe Bryan Danielson's going to come back. And that was like him teasing. Yeah. But they are kayfabe the same person.
But I think it's really going to be a moment where this is going to be Bryan Danielson getting back at Jericho for getting Daniel Garcia to stay. So he's going to take Sam. And I feel like this is also where we're going to see like the Blackpool implode if like Wheeler gets like a little jealous. Yeah, Mox has basically been like champ and off doing like his own thing. Regal's been like bouncing back and forth between all these guys. Like Blackpool Combat Club hasn't really, which I get. They're just like guys that got together because they played together, they fought together. But then also like you're gonna call yourself a faction. I expect you guys to like.
Everyone's saying that they just got out of a huge feud as a faction. They did fucking war games with each other.
Their version.
Blood and guts. It's war games. It's the same thing.
I mean, they did.
Their cage looks a little shittier, but that's besides the point.
Part of the group wasn't there. Like their groups had moments where it's been like incomplete.
Who wasn't there? Who was the person that missed it?
Daniel. That's why
he did. I forgot because he was injured.
That's why Claudio showed up.
Yeah, because Claudio was his replacement at Forbidden Door. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to. Yeah,
I got Danielson for this. I think that you know what the best way to sell a TV deal for ROH is? Hey, Daniel Bryan's our world champion. I get Jericho sold it for. This might be a hot take. I don't know. Bryan Danielson, in my opinion, is a bigger star than Chris Jericho. Daniel Bryan main event in WrestleMania.
In this modern era,
yeah, that's what
like
I mean.
In the modern era of like of this time frame, yeah, I feel like
personally, I'm more like, and this might just me as a hardcore wrestling fan, I'm more likely to want to watch a Bryan Danielson match than a Chris Jericho match. That's not a shot against Jericho. The guy's fucking incredible, especially at his age. But Bryan Danielson is something else. He is that bitch.
If you put them
like,
both,
what? You like that? That was funny. We're a comedy podcast, guys.
Also, if you're for our audio listeners, don't forget to rate, review, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Colt Cabana, hit me up. Respond to my DM.
So I guess go ahead and kind of move on to the next match. Then you got Danielson.
I got Danielson.
So now we're on to the interim AEW Women's World Championship match.
Which Tony Khan said he is considering making Toni Storm a lineal champ.
Do it.
He should.
If it's like a interim champions.
There are times when it's fine. The CM Punk injury with Moxley, that makes sense. He only missed one pay-per-view, but you want to have a champ at the pay-per-view. I get that.
That's the thing. If it is if
it's a short injury,
if it's an injury that's gonna take 4 weeks or less, there needs no reason to be an interim champ in the first place.
In Mox's case, it was, or I'm sorry, in Punk's case, it was a little bit longer. He was missing Forbidden Door. I get that.
If he was missing Forbidden Door, then just scrap. Like if he's only gonna miss like I guess that's the thing I'm really trying to say. They're only gonna miss like one pay-per-view. If it's not where they're gonna miss like 2-3 pay-per-views,
well,
like
to be fair, it is AEW and they don't do monthlies.
And that I think that's kind of like the kick, but don't like interim like just.
I think there's times where it's fine. This case, they have not used the interim champion fucking once well. They have not done it once that it's been good.
I don't see the point for like.
Because he wants it to be more sports-like.
That's the thing. You don't need an interim. Like, take the title.
Just take the title and be like, whenever they come back from injury, they get the first. They get the first shot.
Like you're just number one contender. Like when you come back.
Yeah.
If it's
I
injury,
agree.
Yeah, you're just number one contender when you come back. But like.
Yep. And then Thunder Rosa was just recently like tweeted or put on Instagram or something that she just now started being able to run again with her injury. She's going to be gone for a while longer.
Like you're not. Yeah, you.
Tony needs to be lineal champ.
But
and that's nothing against Thunder Rosa. I love Thunder Rosa. I think she's a great wrestler.
And then, but you also bring up the question each time you say interim AEW Women's Champion. You're just like, who's their champion? Because you see Britt there, you see Saraya there, you see Jade Cargill there, Nyla Rose, Riho, Hikaru Shida. Like you see their litany of other like roster like women and like their former champs, and they don't have.
And
they're not giving us Thunder Rosa. Even do
understandable though.
Did with like Randy Orton, where they like he broke his arm and they were doing like the get well soon Randy moments.
Yeah,
like you have just some like even if it's like once a month we get or even like once every 2 months we get like a Thunder Rosa update like hey status of my surgery. I see like
but yeah, just strip the fucking title from her. Put it on, like, make Tony a lineal champ, and then you get a huge surprise return when she comes back.
Exactly. Like, and then once she returns back, people are just like, oh, she never lost that title. Like
exactly.
She had to get.
It's the Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Except done better, because they fucked him up.
Yeah.
Although, can we talk about how fucking good Triple H has been booking Finn Balor? This is we get off topic because this is the podcast, but
it's coming back around.
It is. So who you got for this match? Who you think is winning? Toni Storm or Jamie Hayter?
Oh, I'm keeping it Tony.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Tony time.
So, speaking of Tony,
I think Jamie's not gonna win it until she dumps Britt.
I agree, and I'm all for. I'm all for her winning the title when that happens. I think Jamie Hayter's great. Super. The issue is, she's so over with the crowd. Is he gonna Jamie? Jamie Hayter's so over with the crowd. Are they gonna pull an Acclaimed situation?
No, I think it's gonna be a moment where like Britt's loss to Saraya is gonna it's gonna spur her crisis of confidence. Where now she sees like Jamie's gonna have like a great match versus Toni Storm and like almost win by like a hair, and I feel like Britt's gonna be the reason that Jamie loses.
I can see that.
And then Jamie's she's gonna try to keep her mouth closed about it. She's gonna try. Yeah, I was gonna say that screw count. She's gonna try to keep her mouth closed about it, but Britt's gonna be like, "Well, forget it. At the end of the day, we both lost."
Yeah.
And Jamie's gonna snap and be like, "No, I lost because of you. Like I could have done that. I could have won that. I could have stood here and been like AEW Women's Champion."
She should have turned after what was the last All Out when Britt fucking screwed her. She had the win. Britt Baker screwed her.
And I think this is it, but this is the straw that like this is a singles match.
Yeah.
I think this is the straw that breaks like the camel.
Yeah, like she cost her the match.
Yeah, like because I think
whether it's intentional or not.
Yeah, because you know, just playing into like in that moment, you could be like, it's a fatal 4-way. Everybody for themselves. Like she wants to win it too, so I can't be.
But you don't have that with a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
So I think Toni Storm as well. They put Toni Storm on the poster for the UK debut next year, and Toni Storm looks great on a poster. Like she looks like a star.
Very interested to see.
Oh, I'm sure it'll the hottest crowd ever.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got another Zack Sabre Jr. We actually got Zack Sabre
like
Jr.
that. Oh yes, I'd be all for that. We move on to the next match, the AEW Tag Team Championship of the World.
Listen,
you got the Acclaimed for Swerve in Our Glory. I just want to throw this out there for our podcast viewers and listeners. He hates the Scissor Me Daddy ass.
It is the quite possibly the worst line in pro wrestling to get over.
I disagree. I think it's awesome.
It is.
The fans love it. It's wonderful.
There are marks.
Oh, okay. Heel turn. I'm the face now. So who you got winning?
You know what? Me and Jim Cornette had it right.
Kenny Omega is terrible.
So, all you backyard bingo hall flipping.
Okay, Braun Strowman, calm down over there.
You know he had it right too. I just go on a tirade and
just full heel turn.
The Acclaimed, like
I feel like the Acclaimed pulled this off.
The music video that they had was.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it was. They had.
I missed. Was on.
And Swerve.
I missed Dynamite because I was at work.
Dressed up as Captain.
I did hear about that. I'm gonna be watching Dynamite tonight actually while I'm at work. Same with Rampage. But yeah, no, I am. I got the Acclaimed as well. I think Swerve in Our Glory winning would be it'd be a big like a swerve, if you will. But I think the Acclaim pulled it off and we get another 5-star match.
Oh yeah, I think the Acclaim.
Although Anthony Bowens is in a sling, he's got a broken arm, or he's got some sort of arm injury. So who knows? Maybe Daddy Ash shows up. Maybe
I feel like they would Freeberg it because his hand isn't, and he wants to get back at Swerve anyway.
Yeah, well, I think that would be that could be a way that they have them lose it. Is Billy Gunn takes the pin. That being said, I still think the Acclaim pulled off.
Oh, no. If anything, Billy Gunn's.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because Billy Gunn, he seems very pro putting over young talent.
He is, but basically it would be his comeuppance on.
Yeah.
For like breaking like his fingers and like all that. That would be his like.
That was such a crazy fucking like he kidnapped him and tortured him.
It was almost worse than Heidenreich interrogating Michael Cole.
Yeah. Except this was done way better.
And if you don't know, Google Heidenreich Michael Cole.
I'm sorry if you do Google that. It's
Come back to this and then comment that you Google.
So next up we got this is a double prediction. So we have Ethan Page versus either Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, or Lance Archer. First of all, who do you think is facing Ethan Page?
Yeah, because it's a triple threat on the kickoff.
I think it's on Rampage tonight.
If it's Ethan Page, I think it's absolute.
I also have Ricky Starks. So we won't count. We won't count that as prediction then because we both have Starks.
I also think there's like a 5%. Like if the firm attacks everybody,
Who is your official guess? What is your official prediction?
I'm going Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks, me too.
I'm gonna lay
so who do you think wins, Ethan Page or Ricky Starks? Damn it, we're both Ethan Page. Ethan Page versus MJF would be so good.
So it's playing it because I think if my first prediction goes well and Hobbs wins that TNT title and Starks loses there, Starks versus Hobbs for the TNT title.
That would be great. I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm doing a swerve. You can have your Ethan Page, your all ego. I'm going absolute Ricky Starks because it's going to feed into my prediction for the main event. And it's that MJF is still working with the firm. He's just fucking playing us all like the evil son of a bitch he is. He calls himself the devil. The devil's greatest trick is making the world think he doesn't exist. He's making people think he's a face. He ain't no goddamn face. He ain't no goddamn good guy. The firm is going to help MJF win the AEW World Championship, and we're going to get Ricky Starks versus MJF as his first feud for the title.
So I guess we'll go ahead and funnel it in because we just kind of funneled into the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. We got Jon Moxley versus the devil himself, MJF. I also do think MJF is winning this, but I think MJF is winning this the honest way. I think this is going to be MJF's first straight up match where just straight up like beats Moxley.
So so just to throw this out, we officially cannot tie. So that's a positive. Yeah. If we both would have went Ethan Page, we would have tied. Or we could have tied.
Because I'm going MJF, but I think this is the first match he wins. He wins like the right way. He wins like straight up. Because I think Ethan Page is going to come out and do the same thing that they did to Jon Moxley to MJF.
Just beat him down?
Beat him down, but then Moxley is going to help MJF. That's going to be the thing. Like, MJF's going to be in the middle of the ring, celebrating, having his glory, and the firm's going to come out and wreck him. Stokely Hathaway just laughing.
Here's my alternative take to that, okay? Similar situation. You can have MJF win clean, win through hard work, determination, all that. The firm comes out. They make it look like they're about to beat down MJF. Moxley gets in the ring to help him out. MJF fucking clocks Moxley with the belt. The firm beat down Moxley, and MJF sits there laughing.
Then MJF, Blackpool.
And Moxley's going on vacation.
And that's the beautiful part, because Regal's been taking like a more and more interest in MJF.
I've heard people say, what if Regal turns on Moxley and hands MJF the brass knucks?
I think having Regal with
MJF doesn't need a mouthpiece.
And then also having Stokely Hathaway with the firm, kind of like that.
Hear me out. William Regal and MJF, or William Regal and Stokely Hathaway the promo.
That would be great. If you give me that with the Blackpool Combat Club versus the firm. I think that'll what it'll boil. Like, it's gonna be a point where like the firm are just attacking MJF and like Moxley, and like it's gonna be where like Moxley is just like he's like either walking back up through the crowd or walking up the ramp, and MJF celebrating confetti, whatnot, or whatever, and the firm come out, wreck him, and Moxley turns around, and it would be MJF. Normally, since it's MJF, he probably wouldn't run down there and do it. But since MJF just took the high road,
he's a face now,
and won cleanly, he goes down there, save him. The rest of the Blackpool Combat Club storm the ring. Now you have Blackpool Combat Club versus the firm, kind of going like you have MJF plus Blackpool Combat Club. So even if they injure Moxley to a way where they like smash him with like a steel steps or like basically like batch him out, like you have MJF kind of like stepping up and like the next week came saying like, yeah, I had the Mox, I fought him, I bled with him, so that should make me a member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And like basically just like world heavyweight title on his shoulder, and then you can have Ethan Page, because just give me Ethan Page and MJF in a ring. They don't need Hathaway and Regal there. Leave Hathaway and Regal to deal with like Claudio, Bryan, and
Ethan Page versus MJF would be such a good promo.
Because now you also bring in, because if Bryan's still feuding with Jericho,
I'm tired of Blackpool Combat Club versus the fucking.
But now you brought the firm
into it. Yeah, but I just Jericho and Danielson both need new. They just need split off. Give them new rivals.
And that's where
give me a new story.
And that's where the firm comes in.
That's the worst thing with fucking Tony Khan. Not everything needs to be a year-long story.
That is true.
Like, oh my god, fucking the Jamie Hayter shit. Like, a lot of people were mad that she was just immediately cool with Britt right after that. Like, they didn't even touch on it. But yeah. I digress.
So I think that kind of
wraps it up.
A quick speed. In the opening tag team match,
we both have Darby.
Yep.
We both have Saraya. We both have Jungle Boy. You have Hobbs. I have Joe. It's gonna be funny if Wardlow wins. We both have Jade. We both have the Elite. You have Jericho. I have Danielson. We both have Storm. We both have Acclaimed. You have Paige. I have Starks. I'm gonna be clear. I want Paige to win. I love Ethan Page.
I just think Ricky Starks, because I think he's also been dealing with like some. So I think Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs, revisiting that, especially if Hobbs has a chip
after that squash,
would be a lot more interesting, because then you also have like, especially if Ricky loses like the world title, like Eliminator, like he went out there at Full Gear and came back with nothing.
Yeah,
and I came back team champion. Team Taz bad. Like but then also you know what's probably gonna get added tonight?
What's that?
An FTW title match with Hook versus just
that'll be pre-show, if anything.
But
Hook retains.
Yeah, Hook retains. That's all. That's the only prediction we need.
Hook versus Danhausen.
No, if it's Hook versus Danhausen just because I feel like
Hook will go easy on him.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be that moment where Hook goes.
Has Hook been feuding with anyone lately? I don't watch Rampage.
I don't know what Hook is doing. Hook, that's why I don't like the FTW title. Like,
he's just there.
What does it do? Like, it doesn't. Like, you option C it something.
Yeah.
Like,
but thank you everybody for watching. I know for those audio listeners, this was a shorter episode, but we're on a time crunch for recording today because of my job. So I'm sorry, but
we'll catch you next week for the review of Full Gear. But then also
we'll have the Hot Ones challenge. We will have
Full Gear /podcast.
Yeah,
we'll wrap our Full Gear review.
Yeah, we'll throw the Full Gear review into the podcast, and then we'll do a
we're gonna do a Hot Ones challenge that we're trying.
The Hot Ones challenge will be it'll be a separate video. It'll be its own thing.
Our 100 subscribers.
Yes, thank you again. Also, we greatly appreciate it.
To your friends, family, grandma, your aunt, that one coworker that you want to leave you alone. Like
anyone that likes professional wrestling. Exactly. That's the gist of it. And if they don't, maybe we can convince them.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. Like look at the set. I mean,
look at the set. Look at the belt. Look at the title. Look at the championship. You're official over here.
I throw this thing around like Moxley does. I realized the other day.
just slinging everywhere.
It's yeah. It's because it's such good quality. Like it
is like it's good. It's good quality, and actually is a decent.
It does.
That is something you definitely wouldn't want to get like blindsided.
When's your birthday? I'll buy you one. I'll get you one of these for your birthday to have at home.
Like
that's fine. That gives me time to save. Down the line, I'd like to get a different, like one made by a like actual professional wrestler belt maker, and just be like, I want this. I don't mind the strap. I like a black strap. I think it just has prestige with it. But I'm gonna be like, the only thing that has to be on it is our microphone elbow dropping, and I'm like, I'm gonna give you free reign, just make it look thick. But I'd have to save up for that, or if we ever get to the point where we are able to monetize, any money we ever get from this channel,
just goes right back into the channel.
Yeah, it goes right back into the channel, whether that is paying for your Ubers, or
for transportation for me to get over to the studio.
Eventually a new pod. We're gonna have a new set eventually for the pod. A couple new cameras,
unboxing stuff for wrestling videos.
Yes,
and also.
Yeah.
Also, new championship belt in the future.
Yep. So, I could say this on the pod. I'm comfortable saying that. Next episode, we might have a new setup. I'm gonna buy a couple new webcams so that I can just push a button on here and it will like cut to you, cut to me, and then like a hard cam. And and then it'll probably be over in that corner there. I just need to get I might just get us lawn chairs as our chairs for it. Just for the pod. It'll be just for the pod. Yeah. So that'll only be for the podcast, and then the universe stuff we'll record over here.
Hey, universe is bread and butter. So, hey, I mean, this is the first 100 subscribers. Looking forward to seeing the next 100 at 200.
Yeah, or heck, I'm just saying, we hit 100. What's stopping us from hitting 1 million?
I mean,
how many wrestling channels have done it? Cultaholic.
What is the Cultaholic?
I know What Culture. I'm pretty sure. Let's find out. We're gonna Google this live on the podcast.
I was gonna say, like, what is the?
Let's make it us.
Honestly.
So Cultaholic. Somehow I didn't get the channel itself. I just got a bunch of their videos. They're sitting at 750,000.
I'm looking at
What Culture, I believe, is at 1 million.
Culture is at 2.7.
2.7 million?
Yeah.
What Culture Wrestling?
Yep.
Well, we're coming for we're coming for that. Wrestle Talk has 820,000. They have more than what Cultaholic. I bet you it's because they have Adam. Yeah.
No, Adam. Or are you talking Adam?
Yeah, that's. Is he Wrestle Talk or is he just Parts of Unknown?
No, he's occasionally done some.
So he is Parts of Unknown has 218,000.
Yeah, Parts of Unknown is like his main bread and butter.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this out there.
Shout out Steven.
Steven Larson are great too. They're at
they're only at 196.
Yeah.
They should have been at 200,000. Like,
I'm gonna throw this out there. We're not trying to beat other wrestling channels.
Oh no! If anything,
we're just trying to do our own thing.
Channels inspired us.
Oh, absolutely! Like up, down is probably the biggest wrestling channel.
Up and down would.
Absolutely did, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I want to do. I have a lot of ideas for the channel. The trick is implementing them because it needs more than just like me. A lot of it. I mean, obviously you come over, you record, but a lot of the channel is me. Editing, writing video, like it's doing all that. So I am trying to get the other guys to help me at the very least with like the writing the videos, and no one will do it. No one will send me like the list of their favorite matches for wrestler. I still got to get that from you for just do like top 5 of any wrestler you want.
Yeah, because are we doing that for the podcast next?
I was gonna do it as a list video.
Oh, as a list. See,
as a list video.
Like, I didn't know if we were doing that.
Yeah, no. I was gonna do that as a list video. The pod next week's gonna be a review of Full Gear, and we will throw in like a debate of a random. We'll do the top Mount Rushmore. But you know what, guys? Thank you guys for watching.
We stretched a little bit longer for the audio people.
Thank you guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Exactly. Watch more wrestling and enjoy Full Gear.
Yeah. And let us know for the Hot Ones Challenge. Let us know any questions you have. I threw that in the community page as well.
Yeah, so go to our community tab, Top Rope Commentary on our YouTube.
We have a Twitter now, so that's cool.
At Top Rope Com.
At Top Rope Com. At Top Rope Com with 2 M's. I'll throw it in the description. Yeah, man, that's kind of crazy. Listen, I got banned from Twitter, so now we have a company Twitter. Now we have Elon Musk hates me. I don't know why. I think he hates children.
But you can still follow him on Twitter.
You can. His Twitter will be in the his Twitter is also in the description. Thank you guys. See ya.